It's the finale of Season 4 of the Dead Cells Showcase runs. Using what else? Saving the best for last here. It's Alucard's sword. Okay, it's the last item that I had unlocked, and I haven't really used it. No particular reason, I just hadn't used it. So, let's check it out today. Basics of it are that it is a survival brutality scaling, you know, just kind of like a simple move set, but it then also warps enemies to enemies in mid-range. Mid-range seems to be about the second half of the screen to even like slightly off screen from where you're standing. So like here, for example, if I get these rats like right there, if I get the rats like right there, teleports all the way over there. So mid-range can actually be quite far. Still, though, I think more often than not, I'm just going to end up using this weapon as a pretty simple way to just, you know, I'm gonna hit him with it, and that's going to suffice. Because unlike something like Snake Fangs, for example, which also has the teleport to enemies sort of gimmick with it, this one seems a lot harder to try and get working for you, especially when you have multiple enemies on screen like this. Now, it does teleport you behind the enemies, but even then, there's only, you know, so many advantages you can get with that. There is one singular affix that will allow you to deal extra damage to enemies if you hit them in the back, and I can't really rely on getting that. Nor would, honestly, it make all that much of a difference. So this one, I'm thinking, is going to be a very normal type of run, and then I guess I'm just going to try and work with survival as much as possible. Don't really think there's anything that's going to work particularly well with the moveset of this. I mean, maybe I could try and go for freezing or, you know, the wolf trap, everything like that. Really try and get enemies in a good position to be hit, but that's about the only thing I can think of. Hey, you know, since I'm actually doing this one as a stream for the Season 4 finale celebration, right as I'm probably about to go into Season 5, let's be honest here. Chat, you got any ideas? What would be the optimal sort of build to take with this? Now, I mean, there is one obvious sort of build, of course. If you get an Alucard's shield, as seen back in the Holy Water run, you do get a change up in the move set to also be, you know, like doing parries at the same time that you're doing swipes with the sword and everything like that. But, you know, I already did that back in the, well, Holy Water run. That is what the legendary version of this weapon and also the Alucard's shield does. It just gives you a, well, legendary version of the item that you don't have. So using Wish on that, probably not going to be as useful this time as a lot of other weapons that I've been using. Well, I mean, it certainly could be, but I don't know. I've already done, like I said, I've already done that run. Kind of, I don't know if I really need to do another one like that. In all honesty, this is sort of like just a formality so that I can... I wasn't really paying attention there, clearly. This is just a formality so that I can... you know, finish up the season with a weapon that I haven't really showcased as of just yet. More than anything else, right? Anyway, teleportation gives you invulnerability frames. I think that's also the case for like the... Snake Fangs, and also, if I'm remembering back in the day, the old version of the Meat Skewer, when that used to thrust you forward to kind of a ridiculous degree. In fact, overall, this weapon just entirely, it reminds me a lot of the Meat Skewer, but with, instead of having a move set where you fly forward, it just teleports you forward. That whole thing. And you know, it also gives you, it also is survival scaling. It's a fairly fast weapon for survival scaling. Probably say that's got to be comparable to the shovel, which is not, you know, the fastest, but is decently quick, right? Meat Skewer still thrusts you forward quite a bit. I mean, I usually just think of it as having the... it doesn't throw you forward about as much as Light Speed does these days, which, I mean, ultimately Light Speed, of course, was... I'm fairly certain just taking that move and making it into its own item, of course. So... there is that entire thing. Well, anyway. You can parry the red line from elites. You can parry actually like most of the thing from elites. It's something that I usually don't end up doing because it's kind of hard to get the timing down. But yeah, you can stun them like that. If you have like freeze enemies that you parry, everything like that. That can also work well too. take out elites pretty easily. It's just, you know, something that I don't often want to try. Also happened recently with the... What run was it where I was, like, parrying the big circular hit that the Mimic does when they have a weapon? That sort of stuff. Crystal bullets. Circling one. I think you can parry the circle when it first appears. I don't know if you can parry it while it's going around in a circle. Or at least I don't remember if that is the case. What to take. Want to do something a little bit different for the finale here. But so Soldier's Resistance, probably not. Spite? No, that doesn't really work quite well. Kill Rhythm? Maybe? You know, I never take Gastronomy. Let's go for that. After all, what I'm working with right now is a healing sword, so a vampirism sword, which is in some ways fitting, in other ways probably risky. So, you know, that entire thing. Yeah, it's like didn't really try, and Cocoon parries any and everything. Yeah, it's one of the major advantages that you get by using Cocoon after all. Even stuff like, from what I understand, like slammer hits, you know, ground slam sort of stuff, which are normally just completely unable to be parried because, you know, they're like shockwaves on the ground. That does still work with the... Okay, here we go. This is already a good start for using Gastronomy. Does still work with using... Yeah, that was close. Does still work when you're using Cocoon. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say here. I finally got the words out. Now then. You know, I'll be honest, I never really used Alucard's sword too much in Symphony of the Night. Did it teleport you forward? I don't really remember that being a thing in those games, but then again, I don't know if I ever even found it. All those weapons were sort of hidden, right? The shield and the sword and everything like that. They're also quite powerful if I remember too. I don't know. I mean, this is... Of course, you just get it straight from Alucard in the DLC here. Doing a... going through the Richter mode that exists when you get into Dracula's castle. You can go and pick that up. What is it? On the far right of the map, I think. And that will unlock it automatically. Sort of in the same way that getting the shield from Alucard... When you first meet him in the Castlevania area, you just kind of pick it up in a back room. It's like same sort of thing. But yeah, like I said, I don't really remember it being like that. You unlock Morningstar? Of course I did. I did the old tickling weapon run. I also actually used it quite a bit in the taunt run recently too. Yeah, just that one's just doing the Castlevania code, of course. The Konami code. It's obviously originally a Contra thing, but yeah, I definitely used that one an awful lot, and most recently trying to get a lot of healing ability out of it. That's a fun one. It's a fun weapon. Is it a particularly good weapon? I don't know, but it is fun. I had a good time using it. Rebound Stone here, another one of these weapons where I'm just like, man, doesn't seem very good. But boy, oh boy, especially the legendary version works extremely well. All right. Now then, you do that. And then it looks like this is... looks like this is about to give me a legendary item. Also, ow, what the hell? Cudgel. Hey, Cudgel's not bad. I'll absolutely take a legendary Cudgel. Just extra stun time. That was sort of the thing that I was talking about when it comes to actually using Synergies. Grabbing something that gives you a little bit of extra time to get in the correct position for this, right? Think it could work. I think it's like not impossible to have it work at least. Well, we'll see. Gastronomy is such a good pick when you don't need to heal. You get a lot of damage. I mean, that's at least what I'm looking at right now. It's just... I don't know, more often than not, especially on 5-cell mode, you lose a lot of health very quickly. Observe right now. And then I usually feel like I'm in a very bad position if I don't have, you know, even if you get a lot of food drops, I just feel like saving them is a good idea. So, anyway, well, let's see how this goes. All right. Okay, really don't like that. But, you know, at the same time, as much as I don't really parry as much as I probably should, still know the basic timings on most of these characters, right? And it works out just fine. Now, of course, I do kind of want to get a more powerful version of this weapon, but at the same time, I also kind of want to keep the healing at least until... because I can't really put that into the backpack now, can I? Also, teleporting into enemies has kind of resulted in me jumping into spikes a couple times in this area. I expected that, but still, though, it has left me in a bad position, is the point I'm trying to get at here. Okay. There we go. No, it has to, unless it's a legendary version. Legendary versions, you can have two of the same, but otherwise you can't pick up two of the same thing, even if you're just putting it into a backpack, which is, of course, what I would be doing here. Having two Alucard swords not really going to be super useful by itself. That's something they did, not like recently. It's actually been a little while, but I don't remember exactly when that was a change they made. This thing was specifically to stop stuff like, you know, using 2 times ice shards, I think it was, really. Because that was, of course, an extremely powerful combination. But for whatever reason, I mean, it's something you can change in the... that was close. It was something you can change in the custom mode menu and everything if you want to, but, you know, I try and keep things vanilla. So, at least relatively vanilla. Obviously, I have a lot of the melee items turned off, but still... It's a thing. Alright. Couldn't put the same weapon in the backpack. Nope. It only ever just replaces whatever weapon you currently have in that slot. Whether it's in the backpack, whether it's in your main hand, offhand, whatever it is. So what do you got? Projectile damage. Well, at this point in time, I am going to go back and grab the more powerful version of the weapon. Since it doesn't really have a specific critical, or at least, you know, a consistent critical that I could possibly use, getting a more powerful version of it seems like a good idea. What? Your backpack? No. What I should be putting into my backpack is like a shield or something, and then go use Armadillo Pack. That's generally like the better idea for what I should end up doing with this run, especially if I'm trying to do something a little bit different for the grand finale of this season. Even though it's just like, I'm just going to go continue next season. Yeah. Teleportation. Oh, nice. Teleportation. Not doing me a lot of favors, at least as of right now. Whatever. Now then, 7? You know, hey, first area, 7 in survival. Not doing too bad. Now I am going to end up taking, of course, the curse chest in the next area, which I don't even know what I was thinking there. Which is probably not going to be good for me, but hey, let's see how it works. Yeah, of course. Well, hey, survival run means that I don't take too much damage from spikes. Only a bit of damage from spikes. Only quite a bit of damage from spikes. Look, I'll recover. It'll be fine. That's what I'm saying here. Okay. Well, good enough. Money shooter down there, which, while that would be fun, not quite what I am looking for in terms of secondary items. Because, you know, it's not going to work with the survival build that I have. As always. You know, I bet Money Shooter would still be pretty good even without having it do survival, but still. I was sort of hoping to get the teleportation there, to be honest, so that I could get a... Nice. I'll do it. Sure, gastronomy... Getting the gastronomy usage might have also been good too, but I'm going to get max malaise regardless, so whatever. It's fine. Anyway... But my new PC, got the new hard drive installed, Dead Cells on it. I did a copy of my save. I'm putting it on it. But something went wrong, so now I lost my save from a year ago. Yeah, I've actually noticed that. It used to be back in the day that it was really easy to just, you know, copy and paste your save. I remember when they first introduced the Hand of the King. And, you know, we didn't have any sort of test areas or whatever. What I did was I just save scummed an area to get practice against that guy. You know, just before actually starting to do some of the runs when that was first introduced. Yeah, that's right. I save scummed everybody. What are you going to do about it? Anyway, it's like, yeah, but these days, I guess it really just uses the Steam Cloud Save or something so that it doesn't actually work anymore. I mean, look, here's the thing. Now that they have the whole, you know, practice arena and also stuff like boss rush and whatnot, that's kind of less relevant. But when you have to play through the game for a full hour or so just to get a single shot at the hand of the king, what can I say? It was a good idea. Hey, it's the sort of thing like I also used assist mode to practice Dracula a whole bunch when the last DLC was introduced and everything like that. Because, well, you know, that didn't exist in the practice mode just yet. And I wanted to practice. Of course, these days, doing all of these runs now, it is, well, pretty simple to go through with the Dracula fight, I want to say. Sort of feel like I got that down at this point. Now, what to take? You know, like I said, I don't really use Armadillo Pack too much. Maybe Berserk. You know, that could be fun. Something a little bit different, too. Also would definitely help against Thornies and everything like that, because then I wouldn't be, you know, hitting them in the back for as much damage. A lot of damage, but not that much damage. Heavy crossbow, of course, pretty fantastic weapon. Completely unusable being two-handed and, you know, the whole run that I'm doing as of right now. Rebound stone, you didn't fall into the area that I wanted you to. Come on. Well, here, let me see if I can actually get this. That actually worked. That actually worked really well. Okay, that's pretty funny. I'm not going to say no, though, of course. All right, then. Hui. Yeah, but it's just like, hey, you know, losing Dead Cell save file especially, because this game can be so grindy with when you have the legendary forge and everything like that. Ugh. Ooh, that was close. I mean, okay, it wasn't really that close, to be honest, but I was worried there for a second. Yeesh. Hey. You know, one of the things I really do like doing with Dead Cells is just kind of like starting a new save file. I do like the biannual save file and everything like that, just because, you know, whenever I'm feeling like, hey, you know, it's getting kind of like, especially doing a bunch of bad items in a row, which, if I remember correctly, before the Castlevania update, did happen to be, oof. And oh, come on now. Did happen to be doing all of the remaining bad items that I had yet to do in the game so far. But starting up a new save file is fun. You actually get to experience progression and stuff like that. You know, as much as I do like the old roguelite genre and all that, ugh, this is not great. It does, being able to actually make progress in a game like that and everything, rather than just, you know, kind of resting on your laurels after you have everything unlocked. One of the major reasons, for example, why I stopped playing Binding of Isaac until Fiend Folio came out, for example, is because, no, okay, is because, like, you know, I got everything unlocked. I just sort of feel like, why even bother playing more runs right now? I've done it all, baby. There's nothing else to go for. If you get like a winning run, then what's even the point? You just kind of, you're like, okay, this is a winning run. Why even bother finishing it? Dead Cells, of course, still one of the great things about Dead Cells is, of course, the winning runs just don't exist now, do they? Oy. Which certainly keeps you on your toes. Like, yeah, then we got, of course, sure. Of course, we got Fiend Folio coming out, which introduces so many new things and, like, new items. The Gauntlet has, despite the fact that the Gauntlet is extremely repetitive, all things considered, it is, I've been having a lot of fun doing that. Like, I've been grinding that out for a couple hours a day here, getting progressively better at these bosses. Oh, that's fun. Could also, actually, you know, thinking about it right now, Did you say toes? That's right. Whose toes are those, is what I said. No, but, yeah, what I said here was, this could actually be a pretty decent sort of, yeah? Increase your movement for 5 seconds after a critical hit. Eh. Maybe I can re-roll it to get, like, a lifesteal. Ha! Even invisible, I know the parry timing on those enemies well enough. Yeah, but what was I saying here? Oh, yeah, Fiend Folio. It's just like, yeah, even though it is a pretty repetitive and, you know, extremely difficult sort of challenge to do the whole, like, badge route with that, I'm still having fun. Because it's like, hey, it feels like, you know, I'm actually going to be able to... It's not just, hey, you know, the satisfaction of winning. I actually do get to unlock something. Something completely useless, but something. Because, like, after all, you know, pure gameplay Isaac. Isaac is a game that I think really does... One of the major appeals there is the randomness and everything like that. Never knowing what sort of build you're going to end up getting. Whereas, like, Gauntlet, it doesn't really happen with. Especially given that I need to do everything just base level, too, on top of that. It's not even, like, easy sort of thing. But still, having a fun time with that because, well, Fiend Folio's pretty well made. It's a very well-made mod. Oh, which makes a big difference. And got big content. Jesus Christ, there's so many enemies here. Yeah. All right. Jesus Christ, yet again, I want to say. Look, here's the thing. At least this weapon hits pretty far in front of you, so huge groups of enemies like this still go down pretty quickly, and it's also dealing enough damage that I am getting the hit stun on enemies too on top of that. So it ain't too bad after all. Now then. Good hit. Hi. Okay. Big stun, big punch. That's what I want to see. Big punches. Teleportation though. You can line up the teleportation. You can get that while you're still invisible and everything like that. Deal a lot of extra damage. It seems like a good combination, and I know I could go and get the thing again, but I won't. All right. Do you have any spare money in the gauntlet? It's all items for the secret path. It's items for the secret path until the third area. When you get into the third area, you can start to buy stuff as normal. Oh, yeah. Also, want to do something different, so, eh. Other than that, you get, like, enough money, like, just barely enough money to buy the 2 hearts. So, it's like, you have to go vanilla or, well, vanilla plus, you know, ghost pepper or, well, I guess the bag if you really want to. I'm going to take this. I'm just feeling a little bit uneasy right now. The bag if you really want to, but I usually take the ghost pepper and then, or the white pepper, whatever it's called. Ghost pepper is an actual item in the game. And then in the second area, you can use the actual Fiend Folio book against a couple of the bosses, which I've been doing. But aside from that, you just get like a little bit extra healing. Third area, though, you can start to take stuff as normal, but you're also already... let's give it a second. Okay. But you're also already... Okay. Down a couple items from not having them in the first area, and let me tell you, I've only gotten into the third area like a couple times so far, and it is noticeable when you have no upgrades and you're on chapter 3 bosses, especially like mausoleum ones. Oof. Even after you get like an item, because thankfully the one other secret way to kill a boss there is an instant kill, luckily. Pac-Man reference. But, you know, even then, it's like whatever your extra item is, it ain't that much. It is a real challenge. And again, having to play vanilla Isaac, vanilla no items Isaac is not easy. I mean, you know, it's actually somewhat like this run itself that I'm doing right now, where it's like ultimately a lot of what I'm doing here is just kind of swinging a sword. And yeah, it works. I mean, I say all the time that it's like, hey, sometimes all you need is just a weapon that deals damage. And it doesn't have to be anything special or fancy. It doesn't have to have a million gimmicks or require a really high skill ceiling. a fast weapon is still an effective weapon. But still, there are so many weapons that are not that it is noticeable when you're just using that. There's so many weapons where you're just constantly thinking about, like, okay, what's your next move? How are you going to approach this build? All that sort of stuff. How are you going to line yourself up perfectly for, like, the Valmont's whip or whatever? Here, not so much. I'm just kind of like, you know, occasionally going for the parry, but more often than not, just going right in there. Does Dog know how to fight Tick? Yes, I know how to fight the Tick. Just because I do it poorly, often, doesn't mean that I don't know how. Really now. Really, have some more faith, Arthur. Have some goddamn faith. Yeah, isn't there like something I remember people telling me, yeah, there's this. I never go and get this. Yeah, and you do actually get like a piece of food and everything for that. Which, you know what? I'm going to sell for gastronomy. Yeah, I still got that. Perfect. Let's go. Hey. Think something happened where I messed up my save? I mean, I know that they made it so that you can't just, you know, pop in an old save and have it work. Like, there's actually, they put some actual checksums in there for once. Which unfortunately doesn't work well if you want to. But we do also have, like, assist mode and everything. I would say, hey, you know, there are plenty of things in the custom mode and everything like right now that if you just want to, like, get right back up to like getting all your stuff, then just like turn them all on, baby. Go full on with customize that thing as much as possible. Because really, what are you missing out on? You already got the achievements, if you really care about that even. And I mean, who cares about achievements, right? Must feel like playing through the game again. I am so happy that Dead Cells has so many more assist mode stuff. I think this game really needs it. I've said so much where it's just like, hey, as a veteran of this game, it is unfairly difficult. Please use all of the assist mode stuff possible. Don't feel bad about it. That sort of stuff, right? Where it's just like, Dead Cells, especially when you get to the point where they stop letting you get potion charges for like 90% of the run, and then just like stop letting you get potion charges, period. It's like, I would consider that pretty unfair. That's why I'm glad that we got stuff like custom mode. And I would encourage everybody to use it. Anyway, unless you want to be like me, playing this game for thousands and thousands of hours, which, I mean, I don't know if you want to. Assist modes are good features, and they should be in all video games. Anyway, there we go. Didn't immediately grab Cursed Chest 1. Since when am I getting rated on a point system here? Ooh. Yeah, sure. It's not like I'm using the invisibility anyway. No, you. All right, I got enough money for a potion charge. I can do this. As long as I also, you know, there you go. At least I got most of my health back. Besides, there's also the... Oh, do I get a minus point for that, too? +2 for a good joke. But -2 for bad joke that took more than 5 minutes to set up. Okay. I already got the 62 and everything, so yeah. Also, I feel like immediately getting a cursed chest is just setting yourself up for failure. I mean, come on. There you go. Both of them at once. Just setting yourself up for failure. What if there's like a hallway full of spikes in the next area, after all? Okay. I think I'm starting to get the teleport a little bit better here. But still, multiple enemies being around here does make it somewhat difficult. But that's why I got that. Anyway, there you go. Yeah, I die a lot. I do too. So welcome to the club. It's called Dead Cells. The Dead is a very apropos title for it. Also, there's zombies. But, you know, really it's mostly talking about how you're going to end up playing the game. At least after the first couple cells, certainly. If you thought that was too easy. Ugh. And even then, it's like, man, have you seen how a lot of these enemies attack? There you go. Thankfully, it's like, even if I'm using this as a melee weapon, a little bit slow. It's survival after all. But you know what? Having these big burst damage as a secondary sort of thing does mean that I am able to... There you go. Able to deal with even big enemies just fine here. Just like that. There you go. There you go. There you go. All good stuff. There's another curse chest. There's 2 of them? No, I can't. I'm gonna die. That's really lucky. Also, I'm gonna die if I take them. I don't wanna. Do I even have 20 enemies left in this area? No. It's not worth it. You might ask, is it worth it? Well, I'd say let me work it. We're all gonna die. No, but I meant soon! Alright. Certainly in Dead Cells. Let me tell you. If you ever get a chance to live in any sort of video game world, don't choose Dead Cells. Choose Pokemon. This is Dr. Inferno's Firebird's sage advice. Live in the world of Pokemon, where they have these creatures called Pokemon. I'm gonna be a professor. I'm gonna be Professor Ginkgo Biloba, and I'm gonna teach you how to use Pokemon. 2006 gold. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. It's enough. Never say it's not enough. Now, if only I could also get a shield. Hey, maybe there's one in one of the curse chests. Shut up, me. We're not doing that. I don't have 20 enemies left to fight. Much less left to fight without taking damage. I'm currently at 3 right now. Didn't fight Mama Tick Curse. -6. -69. That's too much. Will you show me how to handle the balls? Yeah, like this. Anyway. Now then. Got my 60 kills, though. Surely that's worth at least 69 points. And then, I don't know how teleportation is even going to work in this fight, but I kind of want to find out anyway. Like, even if it's not going to do anything. What do you think I was showing you? Yeah, the Pokeballs. In your filthy mind. Let's say Berserker. My love is like a truck. And how about Blind Faith? You know, like I said, something a little bit different. This is certainly a little bit different. Okay. I have not played a Pokemon game since Pokemon Red. So, like, I don't know if there is too much to be said. Hey, Sypha! Nice. Now then. Well, you know, at least it will work against this. I mean, it will, if I do that. Sort of. And the zoom out is also helping on top of that, too. I never do that perfectly. Okay, so it sort of works. I'm not going to say it doesn't work. There you go. Oh, it's weird, though, because you can't really get behind Mama Tick, so I'm facing the wrong way. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, I'll be honest, not very useful for, you know, the sake of actually getting a critical or anything like that, but it's enough. I know that you can just kind of like stay in the corner here a little bit. That works out pretty well usually, but that sort of feels so cheesy. Come on. Well, at least I can get criticals a little bit longer past here. Then all I really need to do is just, you know, as soon as we're finished with that attack, walk over to the other side. And, you know, you do get like a little bit of a teleport and everything, so something to be said about that. See, even without the 2 stats here, I'm doing just fine as far as damage goes. And also I can really, you know, sort of force Mama Tick into using the... Yeah, there we go. Not bad. Not bad, not bad. Not great, but not bad either. I'm going to say, he's fine. It's fine. It was a fine battle. Anyway, Boomerang no longer scales with survival. Because that's just how it is with the cowards over at Motion Twin. Anyway, Pokemon Ruby for me, and even then it was starting to border on the bizarre. Yeah, but it's still a fun series. I feel like at some point in time I gotta go play at least one of the Pokemon games. I just don't even own a Switch right now, so like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do, really? Fine. My wish is your command, right? Never played any Pokemon games whatsoever. I mean, they're fun. But like, yeah, it's like last time I played it was when they didn't even have color. For God's sake. And we only had 150 of them, and that's all we needed, and we liked it that way. We didn't have any fancy graphics. We barely had graphics at all. And Blastoise looked like he was really fat for some reason. It was weird. I don't know what the deal with that is. Stairs and Mew. Now, you got to remember, this was at a point in time where, like, the only way you could get that is if you had, like, a Game Genie. I had a friend with a Game Genie, so I actually did have Mew. They were able to hack that right into their system, and they were the coolest kid on the playground, let me tell you. Super radical. Yeah. I hate that everything is already turning into Elite. Oh my god. Why do I have like what are these shields on me? What did I do? Why do I have shields? I didn't ask for shields. I don't know what to do. I'm both confused and scared. I don't know. Oh, that's Berserker. You know, that's how little I use Berserker. That goes to show you. All right, great. Yeah, we're at the bank. We're at mid-game bank, no less. This ain't your pappy's early game bank. This is the hard one. Yeah, I used Berserker so little that I didn't even know what that's what it looked like. I mean, it's probably pretty decent, all things considered. Especially because all I need to do is just, you know, sort of keep hitting enemies. And I'll get some pretty big benefits for that. Huh? Better than the powerful grenade? I mean, it's sort of like shooting out a powerful grenade each time, right? And then I am also not going to take a cursed chest here either. I know, we're all very surprised. We're also very surprised at the depths of your cowardice, Dr. Infernal Firebird, to which I'm going to say, shut up. And leave it at that. Now then. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That is some good stuff. Yeah. Oh, all the myths that popped up around the playground about how to get Mew, especially one about the boat dock. Oh, the classic one is that, yeah, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to, like, die in the SSN so that the ship never leaves, so that you can go back in there afterwards to get Mew from underneath the truck. He's under the truck. He's never under the truck. People said he was under the truck, though. He's not under the truck. You know, the funny thing is that I remember the one time I tried to get that to work, I accidentally killed every single I beat every single trainer in the Saint Anne. So like, I accidentally made the ship leave anyway, and then I couldn't even get it. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna restart the game for this. It's not even real anyway. And it wasn't. I was right. I was justified in the end. Punch him. There you go. That's what I want to see. Oh. But yeah, it's like I didn't have as many Mew stuff, mostly because, like I said, I had a friend who had like a Game Genie. So we just, you know, hex edited it right into the game. Wasn't even a big thing. Just had it like that. So I mean, it's just like, yeah, you cheated, but it's like effectively it doesn't matter. Still got still ended up getting... still ended up getting Mew at the end anyway. Jesus Christ. What have I done? Well, I'll tell you what I've done. I played Dead Cells. Ah! Hey, what's going on down here? Oh my god. Ah! Ah! Okay. Anyway. I'm just gonna leave him down there. What? I don't need a potion charge. It's fine. I didn't grab the key. I'm gonna have to go back down for that at least. Anyway, also remember a few years later when similar myths began popping up about reviving. Well, I don't want to spoil that game for anyone. In Final Fantasy VII, time before information being online everywhere. But at the same time too, it's like you can still find a bunch of weird things all about the place if you're looking for them. All that sort of stuff. The Nintendo 1-800 tip line. You know, never really played. I mean, I never really, knew anybody with a PlayStation back in the day. So I was kind of like, I didn't really do too much in terms of Final Fantasy VII stuff. I mean, of course, it's just like I knew I was in the video game sphere. I played video games even as a child. So like I was aware of Final Fantasy VII, but like hell, I even knew about any sort of rumors or anything like that related to it. It was pretty. It's like that was some stuff that I figured out years and years later. It was many years until I ended up playing Final Fantasy VII myself. After all. Hui. Now then. Like, and by the point in time that I ended up playing Final Fantasy VII, it's like, yeah, you had all that info online and everything. I was only too well aware of how to do pretty much everything. Also, just like, although I'll be honest, when I played Final Fantasy VII, I never actually found Vincent. So, you know, Dirge of Cerberus meant nothing to me. Not that it meant a whole lot to everybody else anyway, but still. Nah, the one game I remember knowing somebody that had a PlayStation had was the original Rayman. And that's not even a PlayStation game. That's a 3DO. That's a 3DO game. So, you know, I don't really know if there's too much to be said on that, right? I'm in the middle of playing OG Final Fantasy VII, but I got distracted for a few months. There's a mod that adds voice acting to all the characters, NPCs included. Man, I'm curious, but I'm also like, do I really want to delve into the realm of amateur voice acting? Sometimes it's pretty good. I've seen some good, like, Skyrim mods and whatever. Well, I've seen other people play them. I've never actually played Skyrim myself. There's some decent stuff out there if you're willing to put in the time. Ah! And there we go. Kind of curious as to what, like, voice some of the characters would have, though. Hoi. Hey, if you unclenched before, get ready to clench again. Jesus. I'm doing it again, which is to say making bad decisions in my life. So, what's going on here? Nah. Come on, you know what I want. Anyway, at the same time, it's just like I just played. I might even still have Final Fantasy VII. Like we can go and try and dig up my old PlayStation games from when I played Final Fantasy VII. I might still have that. I might have, like, what were the other games that I had? I had Blood Omen and Soul Reaver. So, you know, I only played through Blood Omen though, which was okay. Not like I had a good time with it, but like, yeah, it was, you know, it's fine. I had Kodelka, the precursor to Shadow Hearts, which I also didn't actually play. Chrono Cross, Metal Gear Solid. What else? Now, y'all want to go see a playthrough of Kodelka? Soul Reaver was a great game. Yeah, I know. I don't know why I just kind of gave up on it pretty early. Like the point of me playing through, because I'm one of those people, the point of me playing through Blood Omen was because I wanted to have the backstory. I wanted to see the evolution of the game going into Soul Reaver. And then I didn't actually play Soul Reaver. So like, what was I doing? What was I even doing? Chrono Cross was, of course, you know, hey, y'all know what Chrono Cross is. Sequel to Chrono Trigger. It's okay. It, of course, is a pretty like lousy follow-up to Chrono Trigger, especially because it really does the entire Chrono Trigger cast dirty. But like as a game, it's decent. It had a really nice, cool, colorful art style, some really good CG backgrounds and stuff like that. It was pretty expansive. I mean, it did the same sort of like Suikoden thing. Oh, yeah, speaking of which, I had Suikoden 1 and 2. I was pretty unimpressed by Suikoden 2. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, Suikoden fans. You know. Couldn't get into Chrono Cross, not as good as Chrono Trigger, too many one-dimensional. I mean, that's because there's 500 characters in the game. They couldn't give them enough of a... There were maybe like 3 characters that they gave decent characterization to. It was the same thing as Suikoden, where it's just like you have 108 characters, right? Chrono Cross is okay, but it does the OG cast dirty. It does them so dirty. It does them so dirty. It's if you've played Chrono Trigger but never played Chrono Cross, it does them real dirty. Trust me. It's like it's sad. Too many characters, less is more. Well, you gotta understand that this is the era where they start to have compact discs, more space than ever, and they were determined to try and use that as much as possible. Whether it was through... Whether it was through just outrageously long games, I think about something like Legends of Mana, for example, or just games with tons and tons of characters, like a Suikoden or Chrono Cross. They were... It was a not uncommon thing to do in that era of video gaming. It'd be better just kick him in the face rather than have Chrono Cross. At least they'd mostly survive. I'm not going to spoil anything. I know the game is like older than most people watching this video right now, but still. You know what I'm saying. Oh, man. Did I have Xenogears or did I just watch a playthrough of Xenogears? I think I just watched a playthrough of Xenogears. There was a point in time that I was really into like just checking out all the OG PlayStation games that I missed too, of course. There's a lot of them. And that one was, once again, kind of unimpressive. You know, the entire like Xenosaga, Xenosaga, but Xeno series? I don't know. Never really got into. That would surprise me. Ah! Well, never mind. Jeez. One of the only games I bought the OST of. Oh, it's very good. It's got a great OST though. That is true. I mean, as most like you know, Square Enix, well, Squaresoft at that point in time, games had. They have excellent soundtracks. I don't think anybody's gonna argue that. Yep. No, you don't. Continue to do that even today. Ah. Oh, On the Shore of Dreams. Oh yeah, that's like the starting one. I remember the CGs just being really good in that area too. All the really colorful coral and beach scenes and everything like that. It was just, you know, like chef's kiss. Amazing. Good stuff, good times. Kind of questionably good game. It was decent. It wasn't perfect. It's just, yeah. I think, you know, hey, a lot of people will talk about, like, you know, shoehorned in. Things being shoehorned in as part of a series. And then just kind of, like, tarnishing the memory of that. It's like, there's no better example. Even though I think that's kind of a ridiculous comparison to make anyway, most of the time. It's like, Chrono Cross, I feel like, is the closest thing that I would say comes to that. Yeah. Still, though, I still think it's a ridiculous comparison to make, though. It's a fine game on its own. 100% given and taken, and not much of interest there. Well, you just get it. Okay, there we go. Man, I tell ya. Where's Chrono Cross? Wait, there's a remaster on Steam? It's interesting. Nah, I'm still not gonna play it, but like, you know. Say what you will about Square JRPGs, music is always top notch, indeed. And I do say that. I am fairly certain I said that a bunch of times. Oh, I played Final Fantasy VI on the channel. You'll know this if you listen to the music from that, except for the first episode where, for whatever reason, everything was slowed down a lot. It's all fantastic. All right. And then, of course, it's just like how many times... Like, between... Then I played, like, Cuphead, and I played... what was the other one that also had a Final Fantasy VI reference in it? And it's just like, hey, spoilers for the ongoing series right now. Everybody. Ridiculous. Anyway. I would mail a couple of my PS1 games, like Azure Dreams, if you're going to do a PS1 arc. Azure Dreams, that is a proper roguelike, right? For the PlayStation, if I'm remembering right. Wow, that would be... I don't know if I would even enjoy it all that much, because I feel like, you know, we are talking old PlayStation sort of stuff. But, like, that'd be interesting. You know, it'd be interesting to go back and see, like, before we had, like, the rogue light genre and everything like that, go back and play some of the like, OG games that did exist on console and whatnot for that sort of stuff. I'm talking like your Shiren the Wanderer. I'm talking like your Baroque. Did you know that was originally on the PlayStation PlayStation CD? Sega CD? Was it Sega CD? At least I thought it was. Wasn't originally for the Wii, baby. That'd be fun. It'd be an interesting sort of look. If you watch my series on Tangle Deep, definitely have that sort of feel to it. If you're into it. But then again, I don't know. I don't know if anybody's particularly interested in me doing a weird retrospective on, like, the evolution of a genre sort of stuff. Still plenty of other games I gotta play anyway, so, you know. Baroque weirded me out. I want to play, like, I heard about the Sega CD one, and I remember I tried, like, looking for it, and I couldn't find anything on it, which makes me wonder if I was lied to about that. But it definitely does seem like the sort of game that had a release back on the Sega CD. It's got that Sega CD feel. Like, egg, elemental gimmick gear, and stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about. People who know about obscure games know what I'm talking about, maybe. Potentially. This game's like Juggernaut, for example. Oh, or Sentient. God, at some point in time, I want to go play Sentient on the channel. And the Echo Knight games. We were talking about that a bit earlier, old FromSoft stuff. But that's probably going to be a while. The Bloodborne PSX remake. That one looked fun. I was sort of following the development of that for a little while. Who's the person named Lilith Walker or something like that? We're posting a bunch of videos on the channel. Seemed interesting. Seemed pretty goofy. But I mean, you know, I do think there's also just something interesting about actual... Yeah, sure. I don't think there's something also just interesting about actually seeing games that were of the time. I want to do a bunch more, you know, like I did with Flashback. I want to do a bunch more retro stuff at some point in time. Not because I have like a love of retro games or anything like that, but just because I love seeing the evolution. Hey, 30% for hits in the back right there, baby. That's how you do it. The medieval games... Yeah, those would be fun. Go see what Sir Dan's up to. The answer is being a skeleton. Kind of one of those... Sure. Feel like that's one of those forgotten properties from back in the day. I mean, they litter the landscape, of course. Everywhere. But, you know, go back even farther than that. Do you want to go do, like, the Dizzy games for the old Specky? Stuff like that? It'll be fun. It'll be fun, but I don't think anybody would be all that interested in it. Hell, I'm already planning to maybe do a Pathologic coming up here just because I really want to play through that game, and I think it'd be a fun series. I mean, God knows after you made me play Clannad, it's like, I know you all like visual novels. And so, yeah. Yeah, I got plenty of other things to do, though, first. All right, let's get on with this. Like I said, still plan to go for old Dracula. When is more Clannad? Never. We finished it. We finished Sunahara's route. What more do you want? Like, what more could you... that was credits, baby. That was credits. That's all that matters. As far as I'm concerned. Oh. Oh, yeah, it's right. Oh. Ah, the teleportation is weird on this one. Damage is good, though. Oh, yeah. And then... All right. Well, that was a bad end. What do you mean that was a bad end? In what way was that a bad end? Like, in what possible universe would you consider that to be a bad end? No, yeah, right. This stuns dudes. Oh, just keep going for it, baby. Oh, that actually worked. Sunahara didn't die. Okay. One spicy wager would be to bet the full Castlevania Retro Saga. I mean, you can't... Well, you cannot bet... You cannot have me play more than one game per the force me to play rules. But, you know, I would not be opposed to doing classic Castlevania stuff. Come on now, though. You know that's not gonna happen. Anyway. On here, yeah, I still gotta... I think the only outfit I'm missing at this point from the boss is... Well, I'm missing two. But I still gotta go do the Servant's Flawless. Can't believe I missed so many of the death ones. That was definitely because I was doing it on the other save file, but still. Look, you're not getting any more Clannad. Like, I don't want to do Clannad. People don't want me to do Clannad. We saw credits on Clannad. That is literally, you know, like, provided that there's nothing else specific going on with the game, that is, as far as I'm concerned, the end of the saga. And you can argue whatever you want, but you're wrong. My definition has been pretty cut and dry here. I am people? That's debatable. You watch me. Can you really consider yourself that after such a heinous crime against humanity? Think about it. Were you even here for the pre-stream content? Oh, right. Dracula. Ow. Well, I mean, okay, at least the poison actually worked out pretty well in my favor. Mostly. Yes, because you're second screen. Oh, so you think that... What? You're gonna go like, oh, I was blindfolded, so it doesn't count. I didn't actually watch you. I just listened to you. That's not how that works. The culpability. You can't just try and claim innocence by doing that. That's absurd. That is absurd, and I will not stand for it. And I will not stand up in the court of public opinion. Or the actual courts. Possession. Possession of my content is 9/10 of the law. I'm avoiding Blasphemous 2 content? Fair enough, but that's like, you know, that's like one of the 1,500, that's 3 of the 1,500 videos on the channel. If you watch anything else, you are equally, you know, complicit in having me continue on as a person. Think about that. Little did you know that you could just literally starve me to death if you just stopped watching all of my content. And then I would be defeated for all time. Oh, great, vertigo mode. All right, then. Ooh, that was close. That was very close. All right, all right, all right. Now that... Ha! Dracula! I can't believe you do this to me again. Okay. Okay. Ah, just hit him! I think the teleportation didn't know what to do because there were also enemies directly above me. Which I think were probably technically closer. And I'm betting it probably tries to go for the closest enemy to you. If I was going to take any sort of guess. Usually tends to be that way. But yeah, though there is a question. It's just like when you say the classic Castlevania, you're talking like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe like Rondo, and then maybe Bloodlines? Or what do you want, like Haunted Castle? What do you want, like Castlevania X? What do you want, all that sort of stuff? Because there are a lot of Castlevania games, baby. Any sort of long, you know, the same sort of thing that happens with any sort of long-running series like that. Pretty much, I'm thinking NES era. So would that include Kid Dracula, though? Because that is still an NES game. I don't want to do Kid Dracula. That game seems really hard and unfair. Ah! Oh, boy. You're really doing this to me, eh, Dracula? Good old Dracula. He's doing it to me. Well, yeah, but... Yeah, I knew it. I knew you were going to say that. Of course you want that sort of thing. No, I would do Castlevania 1, 2, 3. I honestly don't even... You know, I have played Castlevania 4, Super Castlevania 4, which is, of course, just a remake of Castlevania 1. But, honestly, not, like, huge into it. I mean, like, it's good. It's, like, really good. But I really actually do prefer the original NES ones. What can I say? That is just straight up my preference. I was thinking Clannadvania. Shut up. No Clannad. Clannad is done. It's dead. It's in the ground. Stop trying to think that you're going to make Clannad a thing again. It's not going to be a thing. Like, you can give me the little Isaac face emote as much as you want. But it's not going to be a thing. I played... Again, credits. Credits. That is the metric by which I judge it. Provided the game has credits. And that one does. And it did. And we saw them. There was a song. It had the lyrics on screen. There were credits and a song with lyrics. Like, what more do you want? You got to know that Sunahara and main character are gonna be okay. It's like, I don't know what else you desire out of a video game franchise of any variety in any way. Oh, but what about the future robot? I don't care. Nobody cares about the future robot. They were barely in the game as it was. Ugh. Same thing here. Just kind of keep going through. Same thing, same thing, same thing. All right. But ah! There we go. No, you don't. You don't care about the robot. The robot doesn't matter. The robot's irrelevant. Dude, in Divinity 1, you can get the credits after 45 minutes in the first game of the chapter as a joke. Well, that's a joke. That was not a joke in Clannad. That was the actual credits. This isn't like, you know... Besides, thanks for the cheat code if I ever have to play Divinity. Ah! Original sin, more like originally 1 episode long. Alright. Well, I lost my 120 count. Could go get the Alucard sword again if I felt like it, and I don't. Hi. Where is the... By the way, did I just, like, skip over the food shop? Where is this thing? Eh, whatever. I'm just looking for it here at this rate. Divinity 1 people would be boring. You would have to play with second guy. Oh, no. Ugh. Disgusting. I don't actually know really what Divinity 1... It's like an RPG or something, right? Like, you know what? Can we watch Jerma for dinner? Is Jerma on right now? Yeah, after we're done with this, I'll do a raid over to his channel. Whatever. Oh, there we go. Okay. Man. You know, like, the calls really haven't been that close or anything in this run so far, but it still feel like I'm still feeling the sweat. I also do have a fan on in the background. God, I hope that's not being picked up by the microphone. Didn't look like it. Anyway, so... What is, like, Divinity 1? Don't you just... Isn't it just like Dragon's Dogma? Where you just, like, you know... You just have, like, an AI partner or something? And that's, you know, kind of the start and end of it, right? Because, like, you know, fine. That is fine. I can't hear you, fan. Good enough. Like, I have a good microphone. I paid a lot for this microphone. Turn-based combat. Ooh. It's a classic console RPG. Well, nah. I mean, I'm just... Not that I really had too much interest in playing it in the first place, but, like, yeah, you know. Dragon, D's nuts, dogma balls. Yes, exactly. That's what I said. Computer, not console. Yeah, no, I'm just making fun of somebody who about 15 years ago tried to tell me that CRPG stood for console RPG, and that it was actually called PC RPG. And when I told them that they were wrong, they said, "What does this guy know?" And I never let go of that. So to this day, I want to continue to make fun of this completely anonymous, unnamed person, purely out of spite, if you would allow me. Now, somebody tell me right now, it's like, no, that's actually what people say. Because it's not. Ah, damn it. It's second, dude. No, it was like some guy on an online forum. That's how spiteful it is. No, it's a console RPG. You call them PC RPGs for the personal computer. Oh, this is so petty. This is so incredibly petty. I can't believe I'm so incredibly petty. Yes, I can. Never mind. That was me, sorry. Well, I hope you feel bad. So petty. Ah, whatever. Let me have it. Anyway. I don't. Whatever. Good enough. Look, I was able to make fun of you on my internet show. That's all that matters. Like, what more do you want out of life? Anyway, let's get up here and do this. All right. I don't even have silver at the bank. Just gold, as far as the eye can see. Oh, hey, we also get another Castlevania outfit here, too. Not usually the one that you would, you know, be using a sword with, but still. Or maybe I never actually played Maria mode. Well, little do you know that this is actually a pretty decent weapon to be fighting you with, Dracula. It's true. Ah! Bats! Yeah, it's like the reality is that this does actually counter Dracula pretty well. I kind of didn't really think about that until, like, right now. But it's true. Ah! You know what? I'm gonna even just, like, yeah. Dracula, do you mind? I was trying to use the potion charge there. This was the last time I actually got hit by Dracula doing that attack, I tell ya. How embarrassing. For me. Then I get hit by it twice, no less. Man, what is up with this being just an absolutely god-awful Dracula fight? There. Oh. Sword is like 1/5 the character's height. It's a broadsword. Whatever. Anyway. Who's that girl anyway? This is Maria. Is it Maria Renard? She was a tiny girl in Rondo of Blood, and then she's a playable character in Symphony. I think it's sort of an Easter egg type of thing. So I never actually played as her, but still. All right. Well, let's go. Dracula final form. I know how to do this fight. And the answer is to have a skeleton punch him. Yeah. Should still be a pretty effective type of weapon here. Should be still a pretty effective type of weapon here anyway, so. Why am I playing so badly right now? This is weird. No. Yeesh. Dracula, if you don't mind. Okay, you know, I said it was going to be like a pretty decent type of weapon, but to be honest, it has kind of been betraying me in that sense. Wag! It's been teleporting me into attacks more than it's been saving me from attacks, to be honest. Alright. Okay. I know, they really make sure that you know. Alright, Dracula. Oh no, bats again! I'm playing so badly. It's kind of amazing. Right. It's like I know how to do this fight, by the way. I'm just like one-shotting everything here, man. Does it even work? No, I don't think it does. Ah! Little did you know I already had that set up! Okay, and no, even if he jumps down onto it. No, you don't. I knew he was going to go for that attack, too. That's why I was kind of like prepping it up. All right. Okay. Ah! Don't fall off the edge. God, that'd be embarrassing. There you go. Hey, I'm the best. Ah. Damn, I'm good.